All right, guys, let's talk about AEVO on the channel for the first time in 1 week exactly. We actually did a video on it last Saturday, and it is pumping again this Saturday for some odd reason. Now, if we look at CoinGecko, there's really nothing here that shows why it's pumping. They had some news 4 days ago, but I don't think that's the reason, guys. So anyways, we are breaking through some levels here, as you see, but these are weekly resistances. So as long as we close the candle tomorrow night from Sunday to Monday above any of these levels, that will make them support. So let's see how high this can get. Right now, this is up quite a bit. It's up about 27% at the moment, and just out of nowhere. Now, a lot of alts are pumping, and they're trying to get back what they lost this week. But yeah, AEVO is pumping with no news. Now, let me zoom out here a little bit, and I want to show you something. Basically, there looks like there's an inverse head and shoulders here. Now, it's a very ugly one, I would say, just because of this right here where it comes down and now it's going back up. But nothing is really perfect when it comes to TA, guys. So let's just do a measurement from right here at about 13 cents down to the top of the head here. And let's say it breaks. The target would be, let's see, where is that target going to be? Up here at about almost 19 cents. So let's be conservative. Let's just say 18 to 19 cents is this target if it breaks. I know it's not the best looking inverse head and shoulders, but this head is actually deeper than these shoulders. Now, we don't need to look at the whole volume history here for AEVO, but once we get above about 25 cents, you can see there's almost no volume going up. So really, once we clear that, we're pretty much going to probably rocket up. Now, here's something a little bit interesting here, guys. We are looking at the Bollinger Bands right now on the weekly time frame. If we zoom in, you can see this is actually coming in a little bit, and this is as well. It is quite narrow. If we zoom out, you'll see that this was so fat back in the history here, but we are at a narrow point, and this is squeezing in. We can say this is actually kind of pinching. So we may see a little bit of price action due to the Bollinger Bands on a weekly time frame pinching in. Now let's look at the daily time frame here. It's like an intestine. I usually like to say that. Not really pinching in, so it's kind of moving away from each other. But on a weekly time frame, which is a longer term time frame, it looks a lot better, and I think it will contribute to a little bit of a run here. Now, looking at the weekly RSI and stochastic here, you can see that the stochastic is a little bit overheated, unfortunately, and probably, I would say, about to make the move to the downside. The RSI is a little bit flat, but pretty much at the highest point it's probably ever been. So it's in neutral territory. That is fine. Daily time frame actually coming out of this oversold territory here on stochastic, just crossed the red line. RSI pointed pretty heavily to the upside, still in neutral territory. So daily looks fine. 4-hour time frame, a little bit overheated here on stochastic, and probably looks like it's about to cross the red line here and move to the downside. Unfortunately, RSI is kind of flirting with being overheated here, but right now it's just slightly overheated. I'm looking at it real close, but yeah, it is slightly overheated, unfortunately. Now, the 1-hour time frame also coming down. The blue line has just crossed the red line here on stochastic as well. Both are overheated, the RSI and stochastic. So let's take a look at the 15-minute time frame. Now, this is looking a little bit interesting, although it's a very low time frame. The blue line is about to cross the red line, probably to the upside. RSI is sloping down here, but again, it's in neutral territory at the moment. So probably, at least on the shorter term time frame, about to make a move up, I would say, although you do see it kind of trickling down right now. Looking at the MACD now, the last indicator that we usually look at, on a weekly time frame, it's actually never had a red period here on the MACD for AEVO. A little bit interesting. We are printing some darker green candles here. The blue line has actually never crossed the red line. It's tried to avoid it. So it looks good. Momentum is up. Now on the daily time frame, we're just getting back into a green period after a couple of dark red days here. Blue line has just crossed the red line to the upside. So yeah, we are looking pretty good. I would say momentum is to the upside. And, I wouldn't expect really to break any more resistances to the upside unless we get some news or Ethereum starts pumping or Bitcoin possibly. Although when Ethereum pumps, it's usually a little bit better for altcoins. I don't know, guys. I think this, it's just running for no reason, and people are trying to buy it. They think that something's going on, probably. But yeah, really nothing is going on. I would actually expect this to even come back a little bit, but probably retain most of its gains, hopefully. Now, jumping over to the tokenomics of AEVO here, guys, it is the number 484 coin, so it's in the top 500, not looking too bad. Now, you can see my holdings here. I do not have a lot of, AEVO, but I have actually upped my AEVO gradually over time here in the last couple of months, and probably I will pick up a little bit more. It's one of my lower holdings here, and anyways, let's look at this. Now, there's a 1 billion max supply. 914 million are already circulating, so that is pretty good news because they can't really dilute much more, so that's a good thing. Now, if we go down to the all-time high, guys, $3.76. This was March 28th. This was probably like the day or day after, maybe a couple days after it launched, and you're sitting about 97% down. So this is probably about where I sold. I didn't look at my list, guys, because this was a launch pool coin, I believe, maybe a hodler airdrop, but I think a launch pool coin actually. And yeah, I usually sell those out, guys, because it just makes sense to, let the project go to the bottom, find a bottom, and buy it later. So I've started to accumulate AEVO, and you can see that my average is pretty good. It's 8 cents. So I actually have a little bit of profit. It's nothing major, guys. But, like I said, this is one of my lower bags, and I think I have about 80 or 90 bags, guys. So anyways, I do think this is a good project personally, and I know other influencers have said this is a good project. So, can it make it back to its all-time high? It's a new, it's a new coin. It's a new project, so certainly it can make it back. It's going to be difficult, though, I would say, to make it back to $4, but it is a good project. So let's see. We haven't gotten the hype. The retail really hasn't come in just yet, so I'm a little bit worried about that. And if we don't see retail come in, guys, I don't think this is in play for AEVO, unfortunately. Jumping over to Bitcoin here, you can see we are just straddling this line here at 109.205, so we're just about, $150 above this. We have, tested this as support today. We do have a red candle, but unless we break this, I'm not really too worried. So right now, like I said, we're at 109.350. If we take a look where CME finished, it finished at 109.770. Now, what's on CME and what's on Binance, it does differ. But if you were a betting man, you would probably, long this, at least for a few $100s. But it's only Saturday, so don't jump the gun, guys. This can actually go much lower, but, usually we do cover the CME gap, eventually. So, if you were going to long or short this, just wait until tomorrow when CME opens, basically, and then you'll know which direction to go. Now, before I go a little farther in this video, guys, you can claim some bonuses on my favorite crypto exchanges below. I have partnerships with 8 exchanges here: Bybit, Bitget, MEXC, BingX, Bitrue, BTC, WEX, and CoinEx. Now, if you want Moodix, you can get a free 7-day trial here. I've also got a partnership with the world's safest cold wallet here, CypherRock, and you can get 17% off if you use this link. Also, guys, you can follow me on X here. Jumping over to Ethereum, we are still within this box, guys, this zone where if I put this on a weekly time frame, you'll see. But this is actually the zone where Ethereum pretty much got rejected 5 out of 6 times, and it was only this time here that we broke through before this run. So let's see if we can get a good bounce here. We can hold this box. I would definitely like to get out of this box before the weekend. I just don't know if we're going to have the strength to do that. So we're sitting right under $4,000 at the moment, and that's another thing, guys. We're right below a key psychological resistance. So let's try, to get back above that, and hopefully we do. But preferably, I would like to get out of this box. Total market cap does have a little bit of a red candle today, although yesterday it did close above 3.73 trillion. So that's a good sign. But yeah, let's see if we can get back above that before the end of the day. Now, if we go to the total market cap, it is actually squeezed between 1.55 trillion, this resistance here on a weekly time frame. Again, we're looking at this on a daily time frame, so it's really the wrong time, to look at it. But the longer the candle we seal above or below it, the better, of course. Now, we did retest this channel as well. We got support there. That's a good thing. Let's see if we can clear 1.55 trillion by tomorrow at midnight. Now, the Bitcoin dominance here, you can see it is getting rejection here on the daily time frame. Again, this is a weekly support and resistance. So we're sitting about 0.03% below this right now. If we put this on a weekly time frame, this is what it looks like. We may certainly lose 58.12%. There's still time, of course. There's a day and a half. But we may lose it, unfortunately. But anyways, I would just say this is probably a consolidation. And guys, eventually we will make our way all the way down to this box. So somewhere between about 48% down to about 39.5%. That's where we're headed, guys. That's where, you're going to start probably selling your altcoins and taking lots of profit. USDT dominance, I have marked off a few more resistances and supports here. So basically on the week, it has broken through several resistances, which are now becoming support. So let's see where this ends up by tomorrow. But again, there's still a day and a half, and we're sitting at 4.68% at the moment. Altcoin season index here, we have a 76 once again. Last night we also had a 76, but this morning I refreshed it. We had a 71. So now we're back to a 76. So we just kind of keep flip-flopping back between altcoin season and not altcoin season. But overall, altcoins are still doing well at the moment. Now, if we go to liquidation heat map, 213 million have been wrecked in the last 24 hours. Not too bad. If we look at the fear and greed, we actually went up to a 33. Now, I think last night in the video, I thought we were going to get to maybe like a 35. We got close. So anyways, we're still in fear. We're gradually working our way towards neutral. I think it's going to take a few more points to get there. But anyways, guys, let's look at the bull market peak indicators. Sell at the top. Still, it looks like 0 from 30 have been hit. That's good, in my opinion. Pi cycle top indicator is the best one, I would say. It has a 55.8% progress. So, like last week, this was sitting at 60%. And if we look at this, if we zoom in, you can see it just looks like it's now curving away a little bit with this orange line. So that's why that percentage is going down. Now on the economic calendar, we do have some speakers this week. I'm not going to mention them all, but on Monday there is 2. Tuesday we have HPI numbers, Chicago PMI, consumer confidence, JOLTS job openings. Wednesday we have ADP non-farm employment change. We got PMI, ISM numbers. Thursday, jobless claims, factory orders. And Friday, probably the most important day because we have non-farm payrolls, guys. But also we do have average hourly earnings, private non-farm payrolls. We got the unemployment rate coming out. We have the PMI numbers, ISM numbers. So a lot going on Friday. So I think you're going to see a lot of volatility probably that day. Now looking at Moodyx here, Friday was a positive day. The week was actually the same numbers basically. The month is still positive, and we still have, a couple more trading days. Now, the year is also quite positive as well. The sentiment is still risk on, and that trend is growing now, so that's a good sign. Now, if we go to the FedWatch tools, 88% chance basically that we're going to get that quarter point cut, and there's a growing chance now that we're not going to get any cut. Now, if we look at the poly market chances here, it differs slightly. Now, 4% believe we're going to get a 50 basis point decrease, but that's not even in the cards on the FedWatch tools. Most believe we're going to get a quarter point cut, and 16% here believe no change, and 1% believe we're going to get a raise here. So kind of crazy. But anyways, the Trueflation is showing about a 2% inflation. Crypto bubbles here, fairly green today. And if you want to stake your coins, guys, go to Coinondo and search for the coins here. If you go to Earn, they do have a search bar, and you can put in whatever crypto you're looking for. They usually have almost everything here. But yeah, you have to search for it yourself. So you search like this, guys, and that will pop up. Anyways, guys, I just want to thank you guys for watching this video. And guys, I really appreciate all your support. Please use my links down below. And guys, I will see you in the next one.